Star Wars has been a force in pop culture for nearly 40 years in just about every kind of medium imaginable. Thanks to movies, TV shows, books, and comics, fans have plenty of material in which to follow their favorite characters. With all the stories out there, some of the more imaginative fans have conjured up some pretty wild theories. Here are Screen Rant's 10 movie theories that completely changed Star Wars films. Darth Jar-Jar. Jar Jar Binks is probably the most reviled character in the saga, but does he deserve more respect than he gets? Some have theorized that Jar Jar is the evil mastermind behind everything that happens in the movies, using his outward appearance as a ruse to mislead those around him, similar to Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back. According to some, Jar Jar was a co-conspirator with Palpatine and manipulated events so that the Sith rose to power and took over the galaxy. It's amusing to consider, but there's no way we'll know for sure. Jar Jar will never be heard from again.
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Supreme Leader Plagueis. All Star Wars fans are trying to figure out the true identity of Supreme Leader Snoke, one of the new villains shown in The Force Awakens. The most popular belief is that Snoke is actually Darth Plagueis, the Sith Master who taught Palpatine the ways of the dark side. Palpatine mentioned in Episode 3 that Plagueis has the ability to create life and cheat death, so even if Plagueis was killed by Palpatine, he could still possibly return. And Snoke's scarred physical appearance indicates that he's been through a lot, possibly injuries from Palpatine's betrayal all those years ago. The answers should be coming soon. Rey Skywalker. Moviegoers don't learn the parentage of Force Awakens protagonist Rey, so all the theories popularized before the film's release still hold water. The most prevalent is that she's the child of Luke Skywalker, keeping in line with the idea that the saga is the Skywalker family story. In Episode 7, Rey is shown to be adept at flying, and she picks up on her Force abilities rather quickly. This is similar to some of the other Skywalkers shown in the film, like Luke and Anakin. And besides, Rey seems too important for her parents to be nobody, right? Palpatine is the father. All we know about Anakin's birth is that there apparently was no father, and it was a miracle.
Who was his father?
There was no father.
As the prequel trilogy progresses, George Lucas sheds a little more light on the concept. When telling Anakin the story of Plagueis, Palpatine mentions that Plagueis could use the Force to influence midi-chlorians and create life.
He could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians.
His facial expression while making that revelation implies that Palpatine learned this trick from his master, and for some reason decided to give life to Anakin. Things are still muddy, but this is a little better than Anakin just showing up out of nowhere, and it gives the series another layer of intrigue. Boba Fett killed Luke's family. Obi-Wan mentions that Imperial stormtroopers are precise with their shots, but Star Wars fans are well aware that that isn't the case. It's believed that stormtroopers are the ones who killed Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru while looking for the droids, but the execution doesn't line up with the ineptitude that's on display throughout the series. Who could have done it? Boba Fett. Not only was the bounty hunter on Tatooine during the film's events, in Empire, Vader specifically instructs him not to disintegrate his prey.
No disintegration.
As you wish.
Maybe Vader contracted the bounty hunter and put him on the job. Luke's hiding place. It doesn't make sense that Obi-Wan would hide Luke on Tatooine, which was also Vader's home planet, but a theory proposes there's a method to Kenobi's madness. Tatooine was the last place Anakin would look for his son. Anakin had several bad memories on the planet, including watching his mother die. Not only that, Episode 2 unfortunately shares Anakin's not-so-fond thoughts about sand.
I don't like sand.
Which Tatooine is full of. Looking to distance himself from his prior life, Vader may not have even considered the planet due to a desire to forget about the world entirely as he learns about the dark side. It makes sense from a certain point of view. Han Solo Jedi Knight? When Han first meets Luke and Obi-Wan, he makes it clear he doesn't believe in the Force and mocks the hokey religion.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
But what if he subconsciously could access its power? Some fans think Han is secretly Force sensitive, since many of his actions in the original trilogy, like flying through an asteroid field, seem a little too fortunate to just be good luck. Plus, when Han dismisses the Force, Obi-Wan makes a smug expression, hinting that he may sense something in the smuggler. Who knows? If Han had realized his full potential, the Galactic Civil War might have ended much sooner. Chewie and R2, Rebel Spies. What if two side characters were working together to ensure everything fell into place? One theory suggests that Chewie and R2-D2 were rebel spies, solving some of the plot holes their inclusion in the prequels creates. In Episode 3, Chewie is seen fighting alongside with Yoda, who later would ask him to go to Tatooine to look after Luke. That explains why Chewie conveniently bumps into Obi-Wan at Mos Eisley when he's looking for a ride-off planet. As for R2, he convinced the Republic not to wipe his memory so they'd still have access to his intel. He just kept that fact from C-3PO. Qui-Gon, Lord of the Sith. Qui-Gon Jinn is shown to be a Jedi Master, but perhaps he had some nefarious plans. Some fans think he was a Sith in disguise and plotted to overthrow the Jedi. Qui-Gon is a maverick who typically defies the Jedi Council's recommendations. This extends to his feelings on young Anakin, who he pushes to be trained despite concerns about fear and anger Anakin's feeling.
I request the boy be tested, Master.
Knowing that the boy was too old to begin training, Qui-Gon thought that Anakin could grow powerful with the dark side and throw the Jedi into chaos. It's interesting, but it seems pretty diabolical, when Qui-Gon could have just turned to the dark side himself. Tarkin is Snoke? Everyone has a theory about who Snoke is, and we have a wild one of our own. Could Snoke be Tarkin? It's a stretch, but there's evidence to support it. Snoke has extensive knowledge on the rise and fall of the Galactic Empire, Palpatine, and Vader. In addition, he's never a confirmed Force user, despite being Kylo Ren's master. And if Snoke was an ancient Sith or powerful Force user, shouldn't Kylo be able to control it better? Time will tell if we're right, but it's a fun thought for now until we learn more. Check out more on this theory by clicking on the link at the top right. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out Danger Dolan's new video entitled 8 Creepiest Secrets in Kids Films. So click on the link and enjoy. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Those were our picks for the craziest Star Wars fan theories. Do you have any fan theories of your own? Which ones are your favorites? Tell us all about them in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more Star Wars videos like this one.